Are you new to lacrosse and maybe the idea of wall ball? Well, don't worry. Today, I'm going to walk you through an intro wall ball routine that anyone can do to grow their stick skills. Let's go. What's happening, everyone? Welcome back to the Prime Lacrosse YouTube page. If you're here for the first time, don't forget to subscribe because we're putting out great content like this every week, and we sure do appreciate you being here. All right, let's talk about this introductory wall ball routine. First of all, what is wall ball? If you've never done this and you're brand new to the sport, well, it's basically in the name. You throw the ball against the wall and you catch it. But what it really is meant to do is to sharpen your stick skills. We'll use stick skills to mean that you can catch and you can pass. And that's what we're going to use the wall for. Now, if you have someone to pass and catch with, that also helps too. But you can get a lot more reps when you're on the wall. And that's the great part about playing wall ball is you can get hundreds of reps in a short amount of time. And so I'm going to be walking you through an introductory wall ball session. Now, who is this wall ball session for? Well, it's for those who have never played wall ball before, or those who are maybe intermediate players, but maybe they haven't played wall ball in a long time. You know who you are. And they need a little bit more guidance, a little bit more assistance in getting their wall ball stick skills going. This is not for the advanced players that play wall ball like 4 to 5 times a week and their stick skills are awesome. But if you are one of the first two options, this is going to be great for you. All right, guys, let's talk about the equipment that you're going to use for this wall ball session. All right, guys, so let's talk about what you're going to need for today's wall ball session. Number one, you're going to need a hard surface to throw the ball against. Stay away from those windows. Your mama will get you after if you break her windows. Anyways, you're going to need a hard surface. You can use a basketball court, you can use a racquetball court, you can use a handball court, you can use the side of a building. Don't get in trouble. Make sure you're wise before you go and start playing wall ball on your neighbor's wall. But outside of that, you're going to need a couple of balls, you're going to need a couple of cones, and you're going to need just a little bit of space in order to get this wall ball session done. We're not going to move too much today in today's intro wall ball session, so that's good. You're not going to need like 5 to 7 yards of space. You're only going to need a little bit of space, but at the end of it, you should be ready to go to the movement. And I'll be doing a video on that in the next couple of weeks. All right, everyone. So before we start, here are a couple of things that you want to keep in mind as you are entering wall ball as a rookie or intermediate player. I got my notes right here, and I'm going to walk you through a couple of things that are going to set you up for as much success as possible. So number one is start slow and finish fast. I think the common tendency for a lot of new players is to go hard on the wall, to go fast on the wall. And sometimes you're not really taking a good look at how you're actually doing. So I want you to slow down, James Brown, and I want you to take your time on it. Don't worry if you drop the ball. Everybody drops the ball. And as a newbie or an intermediate player, you probably should be dropping the ball a lot. If you're not, then you probably are an advanced player. You're probably doing something super awesome. But if you want it to really translate towards the game, I want you to slow it down. And as you start getting more comfortable and confident and start to see a little bit more consistency, then we could ramp up the speed. That's number one. Number two is as you guys are working through this workout video, pause the video. As I'm teaching something, pause it, go back, listen to it, and that's going to help you tremendously. Don't try and keep up if you didn't get something. You got the gift of YouTube, and you can go back and rewind. You could also slow motion it too. Slow motion it. That's corny. Whatever. I'm a father. We have dad jokes. Number three, rewind. I just talked about that briefly. If you're struggling to get a concept or you want to hear what I just talked about, go ahead and rewind that. Number four, don't feel bad about not catching. Again, we all drop it, and you're probably going to see some drops in this. Shake it off and get right back to work. And then number five is understand that growth doesn't come immediately. The analogy I like to use here is that Rome was not built in a day. The Colosseum was not built in a day. And if you understand how building something works, it takes multiple days. Sometimes it takes multiple months, multiple years in order to build something. But if you keep at it, it will be built, okay? And we're gonna have to make sure that it's all up to code and all that good stuff, especially with your stick skills. So those are the 5 things that I want you to think about as you're going through this wall ball routine. And parents, this is how you guys can reinforce your kids' skills and the right mindset when entering into any skill. Make sense? So now that we got that down, I'm going to walk you through 6 wall ball drills that you can do to sharpen your skills. Let's walk through them. Number 1 is hand passing. We're going to remove the stick and we're going to start with the hands. That's super important. Number 2, free play. We're gonna get a little bit of free play and we're just gonna pass all willy-nilly however we like just to get our rhythm down. Number 3, slow sticks. Super important that we go slow. Number 4, remember we talked about that in the first point, start slow, finish fast, but we're gonna go into quick sticks. Number 5, we're gonna start adding some cradling in there, which is super important. And number 6, we're gonna finish with a more complex movement, which is a hand switch. So we're gonna pass it on the wall, catch it, switch hands, and pass it with the other hand. And just in case you were wondering, we are gonna be using both hands in today's wall ball session. But if you feel like, hey, I just need to start with one hand, that's totally fine. You could start with one hand, but we definitely want you to get to 2 hands, unless you play like box lacrosse or something. That's a totally different video. Now, let me talk to you as a coach. If you really want to get better at passing and catching, you really want to do this fast, I'm talking about in the next 2 weeks, you're going to see dramatic improvement. I want you to do this wall ball routine for the next 5 days, for the next 2 weeks, for a minimum of 10 to 30 minutes. You can mess around with that. So that's gonna get you ready to go, catching and passing, moving and gunning. It's gonna be so good for you. So I want you to take that challenge, especially if you're trying to build your stick skills. And I promise you, I guarantee it. I don't guarantee a lot of things in this life. I mean, I do kind of guarantee. Anyways, I guarantee you that you will get better at passing and catching. Enough of that. Let's go. All right, guys, so we're gonna go into drill number 1, which is hand passing. So we're not gonna need our stick for this. We're just going to use a ball. You can use this ball, a hard ball, or a tennis ball. But the idea behind hand passing is to really work on the give. Sometimes we add the stick and we're not ready. We can't even catch. So we're gonna be working some hand-eye coordination here. And what we're gonna do is simply toss the ball overhand or underhand. If you're younger, probably underhand to start is a good way to start. And we're gonna work on catching and giving. So this is what it's gonna look like. I'm gonna pass the ball against the wall, and when I catch, I'm gonna give with it. I'm also gonna flex my knees just a little bit in order to help absorb that pass. That's gonna translate later on when we start doing slow sticks and quick sticks. But basically, again, if I throw it up, I'm really soft with those hands. You'll hear that a lot in baseball, because if I'm hard with those hands, sometimes the ball falls out, especially if we don't have those really good giving skills, and especially with the girl stick. So we're gonna be working on soft hands right now. So let me walk us through what we're gonna be doing. I'm gonna get about maybe 5 feet away from the wall. You can get totally closer because my wall's a little bit higher because I have this padding right here. I have to stand a little bit further back. Now I'm gonna go ahead and toss it just like that, and be soft with it. Notice how I squatted to catch. You don't always have to squat that low, but I think it's helpful. All right, let's do it again. Toss, nice and easy. Soft hands, just like that. So I'm gonna do this for 3 sets, meaning 3 times of 10 reps for each hand. Again, if you're brand new and you only wanna focus on one hand, that's totally good, but I want you to build in the next 2 weeks to both hands. Let's do it. Let's go for 10, all right? 1, here we go, that's good. 2, this is underhand. 3, 4. I'm gonna switch at the 5, here we go, let's try this hand, let's see how we're working. 1, 2, 3, that was a little high. 4, and 5. All right, I got my 10 reps in, that's my first set. I'm gonna do this again for 2 more sets. And the reason why I'm gonna do it for 3 sets is because I wanna build those reps. Maybe I started slow, then I started to increase the speed. And maybe I'm working through what I did right and maybe what I didn't do so right. All right, guys, let's go on to some free play now with the stick. All right, y'all, so we're going on to drill number 2, which is some free play, okay? So you can go for time on this, or you can go for a number of reps. Now in free play, you get to do whatever you want. So here's what I'm gonna do to start. I'm gonna get really close to the wall. I'm not working to get a quick stick or a slow stick or a cradle or anything. I'm gonna just do my best and throwing it and catching it that slow, just with a little bit of a give, and that's okay. Now, if you're starting like this and you're kind of like underhand, that's okay as well, because we're gonna build to throwing it overhand, and then I'll show you the different release points in future videos. But I'm gonna just go ahead and mess around Boop, I'm a little bit more advanced, so I'll throw BTB. I'll try that. That's okay. I'm gonna throw it just like this. I'm gonna just have fun with it. You know, a lot of the times we don't have fun on wall ball because we have to do different routines. And obviously I'm giving you a routine, but you know what? Start out with some free play. Do what you want. Just get creative with it. Uh-oh, my left hand's not good. But that's why I got all these extra balls right here to work that. So again, I'm gonna do this for a couple of reps. I'm gonna work different things. I'm gonna throw it softly. I might stand back just a little bit too in order to get a little bit more distance and see how that feels. Or I can come on super close and just throw these small little baby passes. Oh, I had the padding on that one, that's okay. Throw these small little baby passes just like that. And that's okay too, because again, we're learning, we're getting better at it, right? So that's your free play session. Do it for reps or do it for time. And once you get done with that, now it's time to go into slow sticks. Let's go. All right, everyone, so drill number 3 is slow sticks. I'm sure you guys have heard of quick sticks, but today we're gonna do slow sticks. Now, what is a slow stick? Basically, you're gonna go and catch it super slow. Let me show you what it looks like. So I'm gonna throw it however I wanna throw it. I could have any kind of release point. I find that an overhand throw to start is very good. So I'm gonna go ahead and just get it right next to my body, and that's okay to start too. Some people are getting it out here, that's fine, but I'm gonna just start right here. Now watch my catch on this, okay? And notice how I came back to what we call a triple threat position, meaning I can pass, I can shoot, I can cradle, I can dodge. I'm gonna just stay there, and I'm not gonna add too many cradles, especially in the boy stick too, because I don't need to. And I'm gonna just hold it, and then I'm gonna turn it over and pass again. And I'm gonna bring it back to my shooting position or my passing position, okay? What this is teaching and reinforcing is good giving mechanics, and also getting into triple threat is just a must, especially in a settled offense, okay? So let's do about 10 of these. I'll do 5 with my right, 5 with my left. Nice easy throw. 1, that's a little low for me. I'm gonna throw it higher. 2, there you go. 3, 4, 5, that's good. Notice how my hands are coming back, right? And I get it in my sweet spot of my pocket. And now I'm gonna switch. Also notice I'm trying to hit the same spot on the wall every single time. That is super important in terms of accuracy. And we're gonna teach you in the next couple of sessions why that is so important. You're gonna see through the movement and the more complex passes, hitting the same spot is gonna improve your accuracy tenfold, not just for passing and catching, but also for shooting as well. Also notice that I'm trying to get the ball to pass and so that I catch above my shoulder, because if I go like this and now it's low, that's a lot harder to catch, especially if I'm a new player and I haven't practiced bad passes. You should definitely practice that. That's another video. But I don't want that to happen, so I'm gonna square up. I could also turn a little sideways, that's okay, but I find for new players, squaring up is a good way. Throw it hard. That's a little low, right? I don't want that, so I'm gonna throw it harder. And notice how it came a little bit above my shoulder on the bounce back. And that's super important, especially when we're passing to folks. So we gotta put a little bit more mustard on that pass. Notice how I'm bringing my arms back nice and slow, no cradles. Good. Just like that. Couple more. Bop. 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 All right, now it's your turn. So you've seen the demo, you see what it looks like. I want you to pause this video and I want you to go and do your slow sticks. We're gonna go 3 sets of 10 to 15 reps each. Get to it. All right, we are back. Now we are working on drill number 4, which is quick sticks. Okay, it's a little bit different than slow sticks. I'm gonna show you what it looks like. And we're gonna slow at this, and then we're gonna pick up the speed so that they could actually be quick. So just like slow sticks, we are gonna be working on our give like that. Now, instead of bringing it back to triple threat into this position, we are immediately going to pass the ball back. But in order for us to get the quick stick right, we need to give with it. If you're not giving with it, with your hands and with your body, which is super important, not just your hands. Hands come later when you want to do that by yourself. That's more advanced stuff. You're not going to get the maximum impact or the effect of quick sticks. Now, this is really good to soften those hands. So I want you to go really slow as you start. Let's get into it. So let's start like this. I'm going to go with my first rep. 1, Notice how I'm squatting. Notice how my stick comes back. And then I'm gonna turn it over the top. 2, 3, and we can go that speed. 4, 5, notice how it's coming above my shoulder. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. So here's the other thing that I don't know if you notice. I'm sliding my hand up on the catch, which you could totally do, especially if you're starting as a brand new player or an intermediate player. And if you're working with that weak hand, it definitely helps. What that does is it gives me a little bit more control. It gets my hand closer to the head of the stick, which if I threw the ball with my hand, I would be catching with my hand. It's kind of easy because now hand-eye coordination. The farther away, it kind of becomes a little tricky. So a little trick, just move it up and then slide it down. Get used to moving your hand up and down on your lacrosse stick because that's going to come into play later. So you could also pass from right here too. Again, you're going to mix it up. Maybe you're gonna move it down here later, but I want you to just try it and see how you feel as you get better throughout the 2 weeks, right? Then we're gonna get it maybe into more of a passing shooting position right here, which is totally fine. So let's get back to work. Let's go with my left hand. Let's go a little faster on this round too, okay? That wasn't a good pass, but notice I got it and I'm putting it back. Notice how I'm fluid with it, and that's okay. And maybe I have to step out of my frame, and that's okay. Notice my feet too, right? I'm just soft with it, boop, and I'm rocking back and forth. I don't want to be like this, and the ball goes like that, and then I have to reach for it like that. That's not practicing getting under the ball and also being able to put it back fast. So you definitely want to have nice loose feet. You want to be ready to move side to side or back and forth because not all passes are perfect. And once you realize that and you start moving, you'll be able to catch a lot more. Okay. So those are quick sticks. If you got that down, pause this video again and go do your quick sticks. Let's go. All right, you got through slow sticks, you got through quick sticks. Now we're gonna cradle a little bit. So this one is going to incorporate a little bit of a cradle. If you need a cradle video, I actually created a couple of them and they're gonna be down in the description below. Make sure you click that link, get your cradles right. Super important. It's like, if you can't dribble in basketball, you can't really do anything. Same thing in lacrosse. If you can't cradle, you're gonna be running around like this. Don't do that. And especially in a girl stick, you ain't gonna ever be able to do it. So get your cradles right. Anyways, so we're gonna be working cradles now on the pass. Now we're not gonna be doing anything so like complicated. We're not gonna be like right here, super aggressive or anything like that. We're just gonna rock it just a little bit, get this ball in the sweet spot, maybe just a little bit like that, and then we're gonna pass it. And we're gonna do this for, again, 3 sets, 10 to 15 reps, or until you get it, really. Like if you feel like you need to spend more time, don't just get your reps done, actually do it until you feel comfortable and confident. Take a little break, and then go right back to it. So let's get to it. All right, so now we're cradling, right? Some players are gonna go like this, right? And they're gonna go like this. And as long as you're giving with it, we're going to sharpen that cradle passing later on, okay? The more you cradle, the better you get, just like wall ball. So we're gonna maybe start like this, and maybe we're here, we're square, maybe we're turned sideways, and we're just gonna toss, and that's okay. Give with it, make sure to give with it. Now, here's the thing that you wanna make sure that you're also doing when you're playing wall ball, is you wanna make sure that you're not pushing the ball like that. Oh, drop that ball. I don't know if you guys saw that, but I'll show you this way. Pushing the ball like that. You wanna make sure that your butt end is up for the most part, not always. And you wanna make sure that you're snapping over the top with this top hand right here. I just tell kids, turn it over just like that. Now, we don't have to have a full follow through. That's more for shooting. If you need a video on that, also in the description. But we wanna make sure that we are snapping that ball on, or when we get to the point that we're gonna pass. All right, let's get back to it. So now I'm gonna add a little bit more of an aggressive cradle. Maybe I've been playing for a minute just to get it in that sweet spot. Now, if you don't know what the sweet spot is, it's like right here underneath the shooting strings, just like that. And I wanna get it to where the ball just comes out. And again, that only gets developed by playing more wall ball or passing a lot to a friend. Here we go. Cradle, cradle, 1. Cradle, cradle, 2. Different type of cradle, cradle, cradle. 3, cradle, cradle, 4. Oh no, I passed it a little bit that way, but I'm prepared to move. I almost tripped on that ball. Make sure the balls are like in front of you. Well, we got 4, here we go. 5, here we go. See how I move my hand up? I'm gonna move my hand up again, boop. See that? Brought it right here. Now, pause, go a little slow. Get my hand right where I want to catch. I got my tape right here to kind of tell me where my hand should go. All right, again, boop. Notice how I'm not like this either. I'm extended with my arms, which is super important for mastering wall ball, okay? Boop, a little bit of a give, move around maybe, boop, boop. All right, good. Now I'm gonna try it with this hand. Here we go. Uh-oh, my left hand, boop. Cradle, cradle, again, maybe it's like that. Good, step out, cradle, cradle, boop, cradle, cradle, boop. That was a little bit towards my face, be careful. Now I'm gonna turn a little bit, I'm gonna go a little bit faster, ba, 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 oh, cradle, cradle. Notice how my butt end is getting up, I'm not here, because that makes it really hard to get that pass off with any power, any mustard, any steam. Okay, so I'm here, ba, whew, ba, ba, cradle. So, go ahead and pause that video, take some time, get your cradles right. Again, watch that cradle video, make sure you do it, because that's gonna sharpen your wall ball skills, I promise you. And then we'll get into drill number 6. All right, y'all, so you made it through the first 5 drills and you've come to the last drill of today's wall ball session. And this is the more complex movement of today's wall ball session. It's gonna combine a little bit of cradling, a little bit of coordination, but I promise you, you will get it. Maybe not the first time, maybe you're gonna drop it a lot. That's okay. Again, Rome wasn't built in a day. Neither are your skills, but we're gonna get it eventually. So this one, we're gonna pass, catch, switch, pass, catch, switch, and we're gonna do that for 3 sets of 10 to 15 reps. We're gonna just count each rep. We're not gonna count it per side because we're switching hands on that. So if that's a little bit more complex for you, again, slow it down and then pick up the speed as we get better. But I do want you to try it. You have to go through that uncomfortable phase to get to the more comfortable, confident, consistent phase. You feel? All right, let's go. Well, you feel me, not you feel. You feel, anyways. So let's do this. All right, so I'm here, catch, switch, pass, boom, just like that. And I can go that slow to start. Now, if I need to take a couple of steps just to get my left hand pass off, just because it feels a little bit better, that's fine. Catch, switch, couple steps, catch, switch, couple steps. Oh no, that wasn't the best pass because it came towards my face. Catch, switch, just like that. Now, once I got a good balance of it, again, I'm gonna be a little loose on my feet right here. I'm not gonna be stuck in the ground, stuck in the mud, but I'm gonna be ready to kind of like sway left and right to extend to catch. So again, boop, switch, boop, switch. I'm adding a little cradle in there, switch, and I'm gonna go a little bit faster now. This is kind of what we wanna work up to. Switch, cradle, switch, cradle, switch. My hands, I'm trying to work fast hand switches too, but that comes with cradling. If you're not cradling and working, switching hands fast, just like that, this is gonna be really hard to you, okay? That's okay if you're starting, again, go slow, but this is it. This is the last drill. So boop, boop. And again, I'm trying to hit that same spot. I'm picking a spot on my wall and I'm trying to hit it every single time. Cradle, maybe I take a little bit longer to get it. That's okay, I can do this. Boop. And just like that. That is the last drill today. You guys made it. Give yourself a round of applause, a pat on the back, air high five. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Boom, just like that, because you made it through today's wall ball routine. Now, again, I'm gonna remind you, Coach Gabe's gonna want to remind you about something. If you want to improve your wall ball routine, if you want to improve your stick work a lot faster than just doing 1 to 2 days of this, go ahead and stick to the plan and do 5 days a week for at least 10 to 30 minutes, okay? Totally up to you. And do it for the next 2 weeks. I promise you, you will grow your stick skills a lot faster, okay? But make sure that you're doing it correctly because you could build some bad habits too, and you don't want to do that. And if you need help or guidance with that, go ahead and hit us up. We'll help you and guide you all day long to help you become the best lacrosse player that you can be. All right, y'all. Did you like that video? Did you like that breakdown? Did you like that workout? If you did, go ahead and subscribe to the Prime Lacrosse YouTube page. We're doing this all for you because we want you guys to be the best lacrosse players that you can be. And if you want more coaching and guidance, go ahead and follow me on Instagram at Coach Gabe or Prime Lacrosse. Until the next time, we'll catch you on the field.